And good afternoon, everybody. It's Art Shit. It's Monday afternoon, and boy, we had a little bit of time, so I thought I'd try to get a video in about one of the pieces in this AARP article that was posted. Really, I think it was back in the month of August. Yeah, August 27th. Did want to bring this up. Remember who we are. We are the Shade Group. We are the MedicareHelpGuys.com. That is our website. If you have questions regarding your Medicare or other long-term or short-term care pressing issues that may be driving you batty, give us a call. We're here to help. 765-252-1533 or the website, MedicareHelpGuys.com. So that being said, into the article. I'm only going to touch one of the 7 Medicare changes, but this is a good article for anyone to kind of scan. I'll put a link to the article at the end of the video. So that being said, let's just kind of peer down. I mean, there were some key points. I'll mention the key points and then we'll get to the part that I want to mention or talk about in some detail. So here are the key takeaways from the article. Changes to the Inflation Reduction Act will take effect next year. We've been talking about that. Actually, this has been happening over the past 2 years. A major change takes place in 2025. The lowering of the out-of-pocket limit for Medicare Part D plans will erase the old donut hole. Remember, the donut hole was supposed to go away about 2010, 2011, but didn't. Actually, it went away or will be going away in 2025. But remember what I said about that. Not going to hit that too much harder. Anyway, you may find weight loss drugs covered to treat other medical conditions. They're having like some tremendous success when it comes to the GLP-1 semaglutide, if you want to pronounce it that way, or semaglutide, however whatever, right? So, but they're having a lot of success there. I mean, not only is it helping with diabetes, but also helping with kidney issues, sleep apnea. There was a JAMA article that pointed out like 8 to like 10 different things that they've noticed while people have been taking the GLP-1. So interesting article, but not here to talk about that. Anyway, the Medicare Advantage plan may not stay the same. That will be an article we'll touch on a different day. Looking at your mid-year statement from your Medicare Advantage plan, that's something that I do want to talk about today. Also, caregivers for loved ones with dementia may be eligible for some type of respite care now. And the last one was or is more mental health counselors are encouraged to enroll as providers. If you know anything about the build out of providers for mental health, it's very lax, few and far between. But there's been an encouragement from CMS in order to get more of the mental health counselors listed as providers offering services to the general public in Medicare space. Okay, so with regard to the mid-year statement, that's what we want to talk about. So I'm going to go down to it. We'll read through it, and then we'll talk about some of the numbers that we actually see, which I think is very important. So here it is right here, the mid-year statement from your Medicare Advantage plan. This will matter for Medicare beneficiaries who've chosen a Medicare Advantage plan instead of the original Medicare. Some 50.4% as of April 2024. The mid-year statement will show available benefits that you haven't used. Important since those extras are often what persuades a Medicare enrollee to sign up for that particular plan. For example, if you don't use any of your dental, vision, or hearing or fitness benefits, the plans are required to notify you what type of benefits you have left to spend. Okay, you'll continue to see more realistic television ads from Medicare Advantage plans, the private insurance alternative to original Medicare. Rules that took effect last year before the open enrollment prohibited Medicare Advantage plans from mentioning benefits not available in the area where the ad appears. The ads also cannot mislead you into thinking you are contacting a government employee when you call and have questions. Okay, so when it comes to the benefits, so they're telling you you're going to get a statement at the middle of the year, and the plan is going to tell you what benefits you use and what you haven't used. So look forward to seeing that in 2025. But I wanted to just give you a flavor as to what we see in the data and why this is becoming, I guess you would say, a hot button or a point of attention from CMS. So There are a lot of additional benefits that come with the Medicare Advantage plan. Remember, you have your Medicare Part A and your Part B, and in most cases, a Part D portion built into the plan. But the attention lately will be on the additional benefits that are built in. But what we see is that people like having the benefits, but there's a majority of individuals who don't really utilize any of the benefits. So let's look at some of the numbers. This article that kind of spells this out. This is from the Commonwealth Foundation or the Commonwealth Fund. They too are a nonprofit. They specialize in disseminating healthcare information and the like. So I look at them, I look at Kaiser, and there's a couple other sources that I will go to in order to get information to keep you informed as to what's going on in this space. So when it comes to the benefits, the additional benefits, it says 7 in 10 of the Medicare beneficiaries enrolled said they used some of their supplemental benefits in the past year. 3 in 10 said none. Okay, so when you look at the data, this is over the past 12 months. 69% use some of the benefit. 31% of people say they haven't used any of it, right? When it comes to the dental, 42% of the individuals use the dental, 58% don't. Of the 42%, and this is an internal number, I think, from United Healthcare. I went to a meeting earlier this year, and they were discussing the fact that the average amount spent is less than the amount that we put in the plan. So, for example, if we put $2,000 in a plan, we see that people average spend is like less than $1,000. Interesting stuff. So you got a dental benefit out there, but people generally don't really utilize it to its max. Okay. When it comes to vision, 41% of people use the vision benefit, 59% don't use it. Remember, if you have the flagship product, what I call the flagship product, it's the $27 plan. If you're in the state of Indiana, that plan is a PPO plan. They give you $250 for your frames, right? And they pay for your lenses, whether it's single, progressive, bifocal, trifocal, you name it. There's a lot of benefits there. Vision, 41% of the people actually utilize this benefit. 59% don't utilize it at all. Okay, when it comes to the hearing benefit, I'm not surprised by this number. 7% of Medicare beneficiaries who have a Medicare Advantage plan utilize the benefit built into their plan. So, for example, when you look at United Healthcare, they actually went out and purchased two healthcare companies a few years ago, High Health Innovations and Epic. Epic is probably more of their high end. The High Health Innovation is probably something more on the lower end. If I were to break it into tiers, there's probably like 3 tiers of what we see in the hearing space. So you got your Siemens and a lot of the Bob or Bell. Those products are high end, and they come with a lot of a lot of tech, right? So that means they're very expensive, and the average price tags for those guys are somewhere between like $5,000 and $7,000. United Healthcare has a mid-level product and then probably a lower level product. So when it comes to their Epic mid-level product, you're going to spend about, let's say, $1,250, right, for your hearing aid. But it too has come with the sound deadening technology and some other benefits, Bluetooth capabilities, and the rest. So, very good benefit, but not utilized that much. Most people forget that this benefit is even built into their plan. So that's the reason for the mid-year statement. They want to make you aware of what's in there. Okay, so when it comes to the gym membership, I find this interesting too. A lot of people love the fact that they can go to any gym that they want to go to, but 20% of the population are actually going to utilize this benefit. 81% or 80% not going to utilize it. Okay. When it comes to the allowance for over the counter medications and the over the counter credit, for example, if you're in that PPO plan, they give you $50 per quarter to use for over the counter products like Band-Aids, maybe aspirin, vitamins, things of that nature. What we find in the data is that, let's say, 46% of the people utilize it, but of the 46% that utilize it, it's not like there's a schedule. They may skip a quarter when they actually utilize the product. They know it's there, but they probably end up forgetting Therefore, they end up missing out on a quarter's worth of benefit. Anyway, this is also a finding that I found hard to believe, but true. And in fact, ran into an individual earlier this year uh, who forgot. Okay, there's a food allowance in some of the plans if you qualify, and the people who qualify for the food allowance are generally people who have incomes less than, let's say, $15,000, probably even less than that, more like $1,200. I'm sorry, let's say 15,000, $1,500 or $1,200. If it's $1,200 or less, you probably get a pretty hefty benefit. In this case, this individual is getting like $250 a month, and they have forgotten that that benefit was even in their plan. So 12% of the people utilize the grocery benefit. 88% of the population who have it available to them don't use it. The meal delivery, I'm not surprised that this number is so low. And the reason why I say that is because uh, inpatient hospitalizations, when they happen, um, when a person does make that trip to go back home, yeah, I mean, it's one, inpatient hospitalizations are becoming, I would say, more rare. I will say when they happen, when you look at the Medicare beneficiary numbers from CMS, you see that they're generally older. And when I say older, I'm saying probably into their late 70s, into their 80s when they start utilizing inpatient hospital care, right? So remembering that the meal benefit is there, not likely that most people are going to remember it. And of course, if you're younger, right, highly unlikely that you would ever need it because highly unlikely that you would ever be hospitalized. So that's just some of the facts. All right. So 98% of other benefits. The one benefit in the other category that I think is probably one of the best benefits that people just overlook. It is the emergency response pendant, right? For anyone that is really 76 and older, if you look at any of the Medicare data, right, it's this particular group that will be a fall risk, right? So your risk of falling and having accidents accelerate by the time you get to age 76 going out, right? So these individuals should have some form of the emergency response pendant. I've written about it in the newsletter a few times. And you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who do not or forget about it. Uh, I had a lady a couple years ago paid for the ADT. She got locked into a 3-year contract. It was hard to get them to get out of that contract, but she already had it built into her plan. She purchased it and then thought about calling me and telling me, "Hey, do I have well?" Because it was like $100 a month, right? So she was like, I thought you said something about this. And yes, we did. So we spent some time in order to get that taken care of, but it took a while. But anyway, we got it done. Anyway, but here's the point that I'm making. Look, a lot of these benefits that are in your plan, I understand why a number of people don't utilize them because they forget. You forget because there are pressing issues that you have on your mind when it comes to your health, right? But I want individuals to really start taking a little bit of time and really looking at the additional benefits. Remember my rule. My rule is look, once you know the premium, once you know the out of pocket max, once you know how much your inpatient hospital stay will cost and the skilled nursing care, once you know those four things, those are the four key basic components of any Medicare Advantage plan. Once you figure those four out, and if you're happy with it, now you start looking at the other pieces like the dental, vision, hearing, gym memberships, that other stuff, right? These items that we're discussing are secondary issues. So it's not surprising that these items go untouched or not utilized effectively. So, but just be aware, folks. We're talking about it because they're there. And since they're there, we might as well use them. And of course, as the article points out, you're going to start receiving a letter. And I already know this too. You get a lot of mail from the carriers, United Healthcare, you name it. You get a ton of mail from them. But here's one piece during the month of June or during the mid-year that you want to look at and make yourself or reacquaint yourself with the items that are built into your plan. So, folks, That's all I have to say today. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Give me your comments. I'm interested in knowing what you have to say about this topic. There are many more topics out there. I got to tell you, I read a ton of articles throughout the year and I put them in a pile. I guess I got that from, a professor of mine. Anything that he really liked talking about, he put it in a pile. And sometimes you get to it and sometimes you don't. But anyway, I read a lot of this material and it's to your benefit. We may not talk about it while we're having a discussion, or I may bring up some of these things that I've read and referenced them, because it's very important that you understand and have a good look and feel as to how the Medicare space works and what things you really need to be paying close attention to. So all that being said, folks, I hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. Look forward to doing this again, probably a little bit later this week. Take care.